Today is journaling for when you've disappointed yourself. It happens sometimes, it really does. If you're anything like me, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, you very rarely ask for help, and then when you do disappoint yourself, because it happens eventually, everybody makes mistakes, you go from feeling normal lonely all the time to feeling ultra lonely, and that is really, really hard. So you need to take a step back and be a friend to yourself in these moments, and these journal prompts are going to help you do that. So whether you disappointed yourself simply in a small way, getting a haircut that you shouldn't have gotten, snapping at somebody you love, or you've really dropped the ball in some element, hopefully these prompts will help you have a little bit of compassion for yourself. So let's dive right in. Such a fun topic, such a good time. So you're gonna write down, on the surface level, why have you disappointed yourself? Again, is it that haircut? Is it the way you spoke with somebody? Is it something that you totally missed? Just write down like the briefest explanation that this disappointment is stemming from. Now you're gonna write down how that situation makes you feel about yourself. So again, say you got a haircut and you're disappointed, I shouldn't have made that decision. You wrote down, I'm disappointed with myself for getting a haircut. What does that make you feel about yourself? You're disappointed you got the haircut, but maybe it makes you feel disappointed because you didn't feel like you gave yourself enough thought. You didn't give yourself the time to figure out if that's really something you wanted to do. Or maybe if you're disappointed that you snapped at somebody or said something mean, and that disappointment makes you feel like you're an inadequate friend or bad because you're not patient with yourself. So what is that one layer deeper feeling that's popping up because of the disappointing thing you did? Now you're gonna write down, just because I feel blank doesn't mean it's always true. So maybe it's just because I feel like a loser who can't pick a haircut, that doesn't mean it's always true. Or just because I feel like a bad friend who doesn't think before she speaks doesn't mean that's always true. You're gonna remind yourself that these things happen, but they are not true for every second of every day. And now, you may be thinking, Caitlin, what a nice, sweet, fluffy thought. I still feel disappointed in myself. What am I supposed to do? Don't worry, we are going to dive a little bit deeper. So this mistake that you made, this thing that you did to disappoint yourself, is this something that anybody else in the world has ever done before? Right? Have other people made this mistake before? you're going to write down yes, because the answer is yes, every mistake has been made. People have made this mistake before. And now you're going to write down, how would you react if somebody like a really close friend or family member, somebody you deeply love and care about, what if they made this mistake? How would you react? And it's okay if that reaction is like, yeah, I would be pissed at them too. But what are some of the emotions you would go through if somebody came to you saying, oh, I have done this thing? Would you initially be really angry and then have compassion? Would you immediately be like, oh my gosh, it's okay, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. If you know, you know. What would your reactions be, again, if this disappointing thing had been done by a different person who you really love and care about? Now you're going to write down what they could do to remedy the situation. So if someone you really, really love and care about made the same mistake or same disappointing action that you've made, what could they do to sincerely apologize and or make the situation better? Now you're going to ask yourself, how can you turn that around and tell yourself that you're sorry? So, for example, in the previous question, if somebody else had done the disappointing thing I had done, what could they do to make me to apologize or help remedy the situation? One of the things I wrote was they could tell me that my anger is justified. They could acknowledge that I would be really upset by them doing the thing that I did, but that it makes sense that I'm upset. So now something I can write for how can I apologize to myself is I can acknowledge, like, okay, it's okay to be really upset and angry with myself right now. I don't want to feel that way, but it is okay and it makes sense that I feel that way. Simply acknowledging that feeling takes me from feeling like at a level 10 overwhelmed with anger to like a 7, which is better than nothing. So I'm going to continue to write some ways I can acknowledge these feelings and kind of apologize to myself for this scenario. If you need to take a deep breath, do it. We've got this. We're going to be okay even when we do things that make ourselves sad or upset or angry. We've got this. We are going to keep nurturing ourselves. So on that note, what are 3 ways that this situation can turn out positive? It doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, and then a magical dragon came down from the sky and said, I'll grant you 3 wishes to make this be like it never happened. No, the scenario has happened. You have done something disappointing. What are 3 ways that this can realistically go to turn out somewhat positive? Just remind yourself that it's not all in the trash can. Some of it is, but there's some salvageable? Yes. There are some parts that can be saved. So, 3 things. Okay, that's all for today. Sorry, I was a little bit in my feelings. Actually, I'm not sorry. That's what this channel is for. I get lonely. I want to hang out with people even when I am in my feelings. And you guys are just kind enough to be here with me. Thank you so much. Don't forget that you can be both upset with yourself and on the path to forgiving yourself at the same time. Both those things are completely valid. I love you, and I will see you in the next video.